Hey everyone, I thought I'd jump on about a minute early. I hope everyone is doing well today. I know it's a crazy week for everyone, and we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Florida State football, which is what a topic. Um, at least I'm coming in today. If you're wondering where my head's at when it comes to this team and this program, I'm past the point of disappointment. I'm past any resentment or anger. I'm just so numb to the situation that I'm just going to talk from that. So if anything does come across as angry, it's really not. It's just my observations now. Because, like I said, I am so numb to this situation. If you watch, um, let me know what you think. Give me some comments. And if you watch this after, a lot of people last week, after we finished, commented, and I had some great interactions with people throughout that. So please, if this is done, reach out to me after. I'll get back to you. So yeah, this team, this program, Mike Norvell, I can't even begin to describe it. Like, we should have had news today, first thing this morning. Later today is not acceptable, and tomorrow's not even acceptable. I don't think he's gonna do it. Um, it's that bad. I mean, that team. Like, I've seen high school teams last night from the team. Sorry, I've seen high school teams, JV teams give. Ooh, Charles already. Charles coming in hot, firing. Well, haven't heard anything yet. The media said they were going to keep their schedule free today for any possibilities of that. Now, people have not talked about this anywhere. People don't realize it or they're forgetting just how secretive Mike Norvell is about everything from injuries to, I don't know if people remember last year, end of last year, whatever. When I went through the transfer portal and what quarterback, that was like top secret. Mike, you don't have the credibility right now to play that game. People want answers; they want them now. Now I don't know what the top boosters are telling him or Alfred or what Alfred's telling him. I'm not in that uh, group of people, and if I was, I wouldn't be talking here about it. Because that's just the type of person I am too. But it's a joke at this point. Like 3 points, like worst offense in the country, and we just upped your salary to 10 million. 10 million for your offense, which has turned out really to be the Jordan Travis offense. Because I haven't seen any offense from you to say that it wasn't just him. Even though you developed him and groomed him, and we're not arguing that, it's the Jordan Travis offense right now. He's he's the reason why you became an even wealthier man right now at Florida State. And I hate saying it because I think you have done some good things, but without Jordan, I don't think you're here right now. I haven't seen anything otherwise to say different. Um, I'm also at the point now. Everyone wants firings. Everybody wants new assistants. What is the point of dropping 6 to 7 to maybe 8 figures on getting rid of coaches to bring in new coaches if your head coach is on the hot seat? Are they going to want to come then? The good ones, the ones you really want. I doubt it, especially if they're at a good gig right now and safe. Um, who knows? And I don't want our administration to have to make promises to these coaches of, well, we promised them a job on the new staff or they would be in. No, I don't want that. I think you're almost getting to the point, and I don't know our money situation, but what is the point of firing these coaches if Norvell's going to be gone? Um, Chris Russo coming in with a great point. I kind of not piggybacking, but just Chris, what's up, buddy? Thank you for your comment and joining in today. First, fire Norvell. It's going to cost twice as much to keep him. Ticket sales, boosters, etc. Absolutely. This is the Willie Taggart effect. They were able to look at the numbers of high-level boosters that were leaving, ticket sales, attendance, everything, and they realized it just wasn't worth it to keep Willie. I understand Norvell is 3 times the cost. I think things can be worked out there. I don't think it would have to be the full amount. Um, There's got to be a way where you can sit down with Jimmy Sexton and say, listen, you screwed up. You look what you've given us after we just did all this for you. We're going to sign one of your other clients. Can we work out like a package deal? There's got to be ways. Got to be ways. Or Jimmy calls him and says, I know you're not happy right now. I got some top-notch assistants on my client list that I think I can get for you. If you give Mike time. Who knows? We could say, yeah, we'll give him the time, but if he doesn't deliver, he's done. So that's another way to work that out. I don't know what's going on. I don't really care at this point. It's an embarrassment. And it's so embarrassing, I don't even care at this point anymore. And that's the worst thing a Noel fan could say. I'm not even upset. James Chandler, and I'm going to get back to you as well, Chris, because I love that comment. Because, man, 60 million seems like a lot. But if you're going to lose 100, what's worse? James Chandler in the house. Thank you for chiming in. Man, it seems like he calls plays to see what works so he can stop calling them. Dude, I'm telling you, he's doing what upset me with Jimbo his last year, with James Blackman, and before that, even with Everett Golson, was you're not taking your quarterbacks and working around their strengths and weaknesses. You're just saying, this is the offense I want, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep using it until something actually works. I'm so good, it has to work. It's them, not me. I'm tired of that too. You got to use Brock's legs. You got to use Luke's legs. Not just because everything is broken down and they have to take off. Design plays for them. Hasn't done that. It's one of the most stubborn play call years I've ever seen, and I was here for the Jimbo years. I didn't think I could see anything more stubborn than the end of his years than what I'm seeing right now. There's no defense for Mike Norvell. It's just an embarrassment. So, James, I am so in agreement with you. Heck yeah, he does. I mean, we're at his mercy. I understand because of the guaranteed deal. But there's ways to. What if we publicly came out and said, look at the situation we're in. We were baited by an agent. Florida State will never work with Jimmy Sexton again. You think other coaches won't hear that and go, what's going on there? What are you doing for your clients? I don't think they would do that because they know they have to work with him at some point because he has the college football, not just the head coaches, man. People forget he's got the coordinators. He's even got position coaches on his Rolodex. You got to work with him. He's got to help you. You got to help him. And I think that's the way to do it. And people are also forgetting, man, it's not like we got to write a check for $65 million day one, like immediately to get rid of Mike Norvell. There's a payment plan where you pay him, I think, over 8 years. It wouldn't be pleasant. It wouldn't be fun, but it's doable. It's going to set you back. But here we are in this situation. But guess what? We're not even having this conversation over $64 million if we're in the SEC or Big Ten. That's just a fact. I agree. Negotiate, and who knows what's going on now. At this point, I'm just over it. I just don't expect anything done the right way. I found the booster letter this week to be a joke. Hey, we're having a tough time. Be there for us. Don't even sign it. That really made me say I'm all in. That was awful. Chris Russo, you're dropping some fire today. I like it. I appreciate it. Anybody else here, please chime in. I love this interaction, man. This is therapy. This is meant to just get some stuff off your chest. I'm all for it. This team is getting worse. There's no development. Exactly. If you saw me after Georgia Tech, Chris, and anybody else watching this, I wasn't even that upset after the game. I know it was first game. We lost. It was disappointing, but I said, hey, man, Mike's done a great job here. Things just didn't go our way today. Give him chances to, build this team up, which he's done in the past. Every week, worse, 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 worse. I mean, all night last night, even the NBC announcers were saying, man, they're this close every time to blocking a punt. And even got a bunch. So it doesn't dawn on you. Maybe we got to change up our protection scheme. This is JV stuff. Now, we've been talking about, are the players checked out? I'm at the point now where I think the coaches are checked out. They're like whatever, too. which is embarrassing because of how much they're getting paid. Maybe some of them have been told you're not coming back after next year. We're just not going public yet. Start looking around. That could happen, but if that's the case, it's showing because it looks like they're disinterested too. Especially, and you know what? Even if they're not, even if they're all in, but you see our head coach looking like a lame duck on the sideline, and I'm sorry, Mike, that's how you've looked. I don't care how upset or emotional you were. I haven't even seen that emotion. If the head coach acts like a lame duck, it just trickle down effect to coach to everyone else and the players, even if they don't want to be that way. You're definitely right about no development. Chris, man, I love this. At practice, they must work on one play all week to run it to death. This week was the halfback pitch. Work first time, and then he ran it into the ground. Absolutely. I tell you, I am forever going to feel bad for Lawrence Toafili. Um, he didn't come back to have to go through this. He has given everything from Mike's first year to this, and this is how he has to go out. He's always a winner in my book, and he's always going to be a Noel I'm always going to appreciate. And I hope Noel fans don't remember him for this year. Just remember for all he's done over his 5 years here. 8 million a year. Is that in the coaches' salaries? The assistants? Because Mike's at 10. Yeah, let's not leave out 2 million. Okay, no signature in the booster letter. Talked about that. What a joke. So basically, you're saying, yeah, we know we suck. Please stick with us. Please give us money, but we don't even want to co-sign on that. And that made me want to give nothing back to them. Put your name on it if you're going to say that. I don't have a bad thing to say about Battle's End. They go with the discretion of the head coach. If Mike's saying I need this much for this is what I want, they work with him to do it. They're not like his tax accountant where they're saying, or financial accountant where they're saying you're spending too much here, you're doing this there, you need to hold back there. That's not their rule. So I don't hold the Battle's End accountable at all. All they did was just put Mike in a position to better the roster. And oh boy, Chris is about to get political. Last week, Mike reminded me of Kamala. I can fix it. I know what to do. Mike, you're in charge now. It's getting worse. All right, not to get political, but it. If think about how we were beginning of the season in the Georgia Tech game to now, it is 100 times worse. And we got pushed around that day by Georgia Tech. They outplayed us 6 ways from Sunday. It wasn't as close as the final score indicated. And I completely agree. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying, and he's making nothing about it. He came in last night and almost tears and head down. Like, enough. I don't feel bad for you, man. I really don't. And one of these days, man, I would really love to hear what truly happened this all season and fall camp and everything to get everyone so wrong about this team. Not wrong as they thought they'd be good. Wrong as in, man, something really bad must have happened or direction of the team. And I hear, oh, it's NIL. Oh, the players don't want to work. They're already getting paid. Maybe we got the wrong kind of players that are dealing with it because Georgia players are getting paid. Texas players, I know Georgia lost yesterday, but they're still solid. Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, you name it. Those players are playing their tails off. Bama last night. You think they're not getting NIL? No. So that excuse holds nothing to me. Whew. Man, this is feeling good, man. I appreciate it. James Chandler bringing in the heat again, man. Hey, you guys are here. We're gonna talk. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna have to get you guys on the show sometime. I want to make this an open forum for people as well. But James, I want to read your question, or sorry, your statement. I don't think they will fire him because of their pride, based on how they dogged Taggart on how much better he was supposed to be. So we're stuck for at least 2 more years because he had. Yeah, I agree. I mean, imagine you're Mike Alford and you just made this big contract extension for Mike and promoted him, and you're suing the ACC, and then you fire your coach, and you have to ask the boosters and all these people to write you a check that Florida State is not really our thing. I know we did the Taggart one that set us back for a while. We were lucky to get Mike on for a little bit less. um, at the time. No coach is coming here for less now. They saw what Mike's getting paid. They don't care about what his buyout. So is they might say we might need more to come here because you're such a mess. Why would I leave a good situation? Ugh. I hope I had some hope for Brock after Clemson. Yep. Yeah, I kept saying, man, they played their tails off against Clemson. Clemson's a much better team. Uh, Brock improvised. You could saw they were playing harder for him. But I mean, not to get into Ron Dugans, but the wide receivers, I mean, have gotten so much worse in that game too. Beyond the drops, I'm talking route running. I'm talking everything. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, the true freshman at Ohio State. I understand he's a freak. I understand he's a generational talent. He has more touchdowns alone than our entire wide receiving core. If I told you all that before the year, you probably would have thought I was crazy. But that's where we're at there. James Chandler, man. You guys, Chris and James, thank you so much for this today. Man, I can't thank you enough. We should just eat this and let all the coaches come back and fire you know what? Tom Ling, War Chant, mentioned that last night. And sometimes I really disagree with Tom, sometimes, but on this one, he was 100% correct. He was like, what's the point of firing this coach? I mean, these coaches, if the head coach ain't going to be around, because the top assistants, like I said, will not want to come here. And you're just going to have to buy out the next set of coaches to bring in the new head coach and then his coaches. So it's kind of like you're spending more to get to the end result. What might just happen anyway. I agree. It's going to be a miserable off season. Recruits aren't going to want to come here, and that's already evident. You have no confidence in the fan base. Mike at that point alone would be like, I guess you could say like Al Golden was at Miami, where no one believed in him, and they're like, yeah, he won't even get rid of a DC because he's his buddy. I think Mike being so secretive too is upsetting people because it's like you misled us, and now it's like listen, I understand you can't come out mid-season and say, I'm getting rid of this guy at the end of the year. I'm getting rid of this guy. Don't worry, change is coming. You can't do that. I get it. Today, no excuse. There should have been some press release by now. And but who knows? Maybe if no coaches are fired, then this goes to your point, James, of maybe the head guy is on the hot seat. Alfred's been awfully quiet. That's for sure. Peter Collins, awfully quiet. It can't be a fun time there right now. So yeah, I I agree at that point. And then you'll save some money for the next coach. Chris Russo, I agree, James, but this is your 5, man. This can't happen to good coaches. Anyone think Saban or whatever goes, hey, Chris, let's be honest. We're not 2 wins yet. I don't think Charleston Southern's going to be an easy one. If we came out as underdogs against Charleston Southern, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. But yeah, whether Mike comes back or he doesn't, these coaches need to be gone. There's consequences for seasons like this, and they get paid a lot. I mean, I understand jobs are important. I'm the first to admit it. I hate the call for that, especially publicly like this. But don't ask me for money for this product. I understand you're not paying for wins and losses. You're paying to be a Seminole and paying for the experience and help these young men and women out at boosters too. But this is just. I mean, when your team's unwatchable. What really got me was quitting last week against North Carolina, because all year I said, man, they're tough to watch, but just they're fighting on defense. If you quit on me, it's hard for me not to quit on you. And if I'm wrong for that, then I'm sorry. I still love my Knowles, always will, but it's tough for me to watch if you quit on me. Yes, that would be nice. If nobody's fired, maybe the head guy is. Maybe. The media is being very careful how they talk about that, I've noticed. They're just trying to say right now, Mike ain't going anywhere. Mike ain't going anywhere because they just assume with the buyout, and then that way, if it does happen, they can go, wow. So that means they don't really know what's going on, and that's just the way it is there now. War Chant used to do a lot of war room reports where you would get some kind of inside information. They haven't done that, and probably very good reason. I understand. Man, this has been fun. If anybody else wants to chime in, I see you got 6 people. Okay, growing. I love it. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I mean, the sad part was here we are, week 10. Florida State's on the road to play Notre Dame. I woke up yesterday, didn't even. It's embarrassing. We are the laughing stock of college football, and the team doesn't care. No emotion. Somebody yells. Someone. Yeah. No. Hey, Chris. I agree, but we're not even the laughing stock anymore because nobody even pays attention to us. It's like they're focused on the other teams, and it's like first 3-4 weeks they were like, "What's going on at Florida State? What's going on?" By now, we're not even on the radar. We're like an afterthought, which I don't know if what's worse, being the afterthought or the laughing stock. I think the afterthought feels worse because if you're the laughing stock, at least they're talking about you. You're somewhat out there. They say any news is good. Any news is good for you. But I'm with you there, Chris. Chris, thank you again. Mike has lost the fan base and many boosters. Many podcasters saying it's unlikely. I agree, Charles. I watched the Ward Champ post game. They're being very careful, I think, also. But I don't listen to 247 as much as I used to. Nothing against those guys. I just haven't. This year, I just really haven't enjoyed listening to the podcasters. What do they have to talk about? And they have the same thing every week. It's got to be miserable for them. So it's really not fun for me to listen to. But yeah, of course they're saying it's unlikely because 65 million is 65 million. It's very easy to throw that number out there and say, "Oh, just do it," when you're not the one writing the check. And you were a top booster who was just asked for more money last year. Now, who knows? Maybe the fan base comes together and says, "Hey, we'll do what we got to do." We rallied after the snub. Um, but now, Charles, I think it's done. Like, I'm not saying he can never coach again elsewhere and be successful. He probably can because I think he is a good coach. But I think Mike Norvell in Florida State is done. It's just a marriage that is just falling apart, and it's just not going to reconcile. Um, and it's unfortunate because I really all off season was like, we are so lucky to have him. He understands he's got the culture, he's got the team in the right place. Um, I never saw this coming. I'll be honest. But I have to accept it for what it is. Do I think Elon can chip in? Yeah, that would be like you know, yeah. I think Elon's got bigger fish to fry than Mike Norvell. But hey, why don't we name it like Doak Campbell at Musk Field at Bobby Badenfield with Elon Musk on it, like on Doak? That'd be cool. Like, give Elon naming rights and set up some Tesla stuff by the stadium. Hey, we're all for that. Or at this point, I'm like for the buyout, we might just have a Doak Campbell Stadium at Bobby Badenfield and Tesla Field, or Spank Stadium if Sarah wants to give for that. Um, I mean, naming rights are going to become a thing anyway. Might as well. Tesla Field, I'm all for it. Any chance we get out of AC and join Pack 8? Man, I mean, I'm curious to hear what our ratings are like this for this year because that determines our conference. I mean, let's be honest. 1 win, 3 wins, 5 wins. Florida State still bring in their brand, which is taking a hit this year. There's no argument about that. But they're not thinking just now or next year. They're thinking 5, 10, 15 years down the line. It's projections. It's not just right now. Anyone has Elon on speed dial from a chip in for the buyout? I do, Charles. He's a good friend of mine. I'm going to call him in a little bit. He gives me updates on the Rockets and what's going to Mars and all that stuff. But yeah, yeah, man, wouldn't that be cool if Elon's made Florida State football great again? That'd be awesome. Tesla Field. I'm just going to keep Tesla Field up there for a while. Maybe Elon somehow comes across this and says, "Hey, that'd be a cool idea." Um, even though he's right down the street from the University of Texas, and I'm sure he's got a good relationship with them. But hey, he could say, "Hey, you had Lamborghinis at your recruiting weekend. You could have had Teslas, and I'm right here, so we'll do Teslas. Like when our recruits come in for a weekend, we'll have Teslas lined up, Tesla Field, Elon's. Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And with our weather department, he could work with the weather, and it'd be a beautiful partnership. But man, this has been fun. If anybody else wants to chime in, let me know. I'm gonna have to start getting more of you on the show. I really enjoyed having Vince last week. Vince, with the show Garnet and Old, and if you have a chance, check him out with Ryan. They do a great job. It's a tough time for Florida State YouTubers and podcasters. A bunch were telling me just their numbers have really dropped this season. You can imagine why. I'm hoping for them come December, January, it spikes up for them because we'll have some news to talk about. If we didn't see it this morning, I just don't see it happening. I wasn't even waking up today expecting it. Last week, I thought maybe. This week, no. And who knows? With the bye week, Mike can even stay more secretive because he won't have to give a press conference tomorrow. Hey, that is always a great point, James Chandler, because I remember saying that after we canned Willie. I said, great, the people who hired Willie are making this hire. And they did it top secret, KGB style, which I'm so over. I'm not saying you have to make public statements, but enough with that, man. With Twitter now and all these places, it's really hard to keep stuff secret regardless. Obviously trust is down across the board. It's not just the coaching staff and the players. It is, if it's this bad, it's coming from the top two. And yeah, you have to question it. And even if they're not doing anything per se, you're affiliated with it. So if your name's on it, you're affiliated with it. I heard from somebody that Mike is the only one giving press conference tomorrow. So no other coaches. So who knows? Yeah, I thought about that. But like I said, it's also a bye week this week. Now we're probably underdogs to bye week. Sorry, I had to throw that in. So who knows? Maybe it's just he'll come out and talk since it's bye week, and then the coordinators would come out the following week for Charleston Southern. That's just a possibility. Mike's never really been one to fire anybody at the end of a season, let alone during a season. So this is just foreign territory for him. And who knows how he's dealing with this behind the scenes, if he's putting his foot down, if they're butting heads at all, or if they have a plan that they made weeks ago. Who knows? I don't care at this point anyway. I'm just trying to be here as a source to vent for people, give my opinion. When you're this bad, I mean, nothing that's really going to give you a shot in the arm and say, okay, we're doing good. This is what we needed. No one's going to feel good until they see this team play next year and that they see improvement. This offseason, I don't care who we hire as a head coach. No one's going to really hopefully we could be one. Well, we're definitely going to lose recruits, so we'll lose that part of the bye week, James. And thank you so much, man. And if you're watching this, man, please hit subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I got some cool vlogs planned, really cool vlogs. I'm going to hit Florida State even harder this offseason with the live streams, getting some guests. I really made this channel to be diverse, not just Florida State only. Some people have told me, hey, that was smart of you. I don't see it that way. It's just I want to give people different things. Here's a vlog of me in Nashville. Here's a vlog of me here. Live stream talking Florida State. A lot of former players I'm going to try to get on and talk with you. And then you can interact with them as well, because I know so many that would be so great at this, just talking to you. And it would be a disservice if I don't even try to get them. So since Vince was a success last week, as far as my first time having a guest on, I'm even more focused on getting guests for you guys. Chris, thank you. Oh, man, thank you so much, Chris. Yeah, and trust me, if you're not following me on Twitter, I'm going to put it up. and that's where I announce these live streams. And also, Rock and Roll YouTube channel and Facebook, I announce the live streams as well. But also, you can always like reach out to me in DMs if you need to ask me a question, or even after these, man. I love interacting with you guys. But yeah, let me put up my YouTube. My YouTube. This is YouTube. I'm gonna put up my Twitter, where I do like the majority of my announcing of this stuff. So because we're here to grow this stuff and do it together. It's a partnership. That's not it. Banner. Here we go. I think. I'm putting up my Twitter for you guys, so please interact with me there. I would love it. Here we go. My Twitter handle. There you go. So this is my Twitter handle. Please, get in touch with me there. Man, I wanted to be a source of where people can just interact. And like I said, I'm going to get some former players from the 90s. That's when I was there. Because they still are, you'd be surprised how they are still up with the program every day, loving this team. It's not like I would have to have them on and tell them what's going on. Trust me, a lot of things they would probably have to tell me, because they're so into it and involved with people around the program, even in bigger ways than me. So anybody have anything to add? Let me know. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, thank you, whoever just followed me on Twitter. Appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, man, I hate to ask, but please, it would mean a lot to me. So I think, man, 7 people. You know what? Hey, 7 people better than 0. But hey, even if it was 0, I'm still going to talk from the heart, man. That's just how I am. Anyone who knows me will agree. Charles, thank you. Always part of it. Charles, I want you on one time, buddy. We go back a long time. I want you to come on. I know today wasn't a great day for you, and that's what happens when it's short notice too. But I'll reach out to you and we'll set up a time for you to come on. I also got another friend. He's told me for a while he wants to come on, and he's a guy who I just watch games with at the sports bar. Very knowledgeable. He breaks down game film after games and loves to talk about that. So I'm going to bring him on just from an X's and O's. Not saying he's a former coach, not saying he's that player, but he loves talking about that stuff. And he's so passionate that I think it would be cool to have him on. A friend of mine named Billy, he was even breaking down how he was watching guards and how they were doing. Like, man, I just think you'd love his energy. He's very energetic. He's going to be on. I'm going to try to get him on once a week. We'll figure it out. Billy's a good dude. I'm announcing it now, Billy. So if you ever watch this, I announced you. John, it's our take care, spike your hair. That's one of his catchphrases with me whenever I have to hang up the phone with him, right? He's hanging up on me. He always says that. It's kind of like our thing. Woo woo, you know it. Definitely. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it as always. Great show. Oh, man. Well, hey, praying for you, Chris. See, this is just a reminder that if Florida State football in their 1-10 season is the worst thing you have going on in your life, then you're doing okay. So, Chris, we're praying for you, thinking about you. If you can, like, DM me and just let me know how she's doing. Keep me posted, man. I'd appreciate that. And I'm sending my prayers to you and your family, man. So thank you so much, Chris, man. I really appreciate it. So this is my Twitter handle. Yes, absolutely. It's a community. It's a family, man, on all of them. And Florida State, man, there's no fan base like ours, good or bad. We really come together, and how people don't even know each other just can become friends instantly through being Florida State people. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to let you all enjoy NFL Sunday, and I'm going to get these going more often, at least twice a week now, twice a week, because I think we might have more stuff to talk about. And if we don't, we're going to create it because it's there to be talked about. So thank you, everyone. greatly appreciate your time. This means so much to me. So thank you. And this is my Twitter handle. Feel free to interact with me there. I love the banter. I love the commentary. So take care and thank you, everyone.